Notes to teachers. The child who stutters. Teaching as a profession comes with many challenges, and one of the very important challenges is managing different abilities and different emotions in a classroom without hurting any child's emotion. Let us look at stuttering at kindergarten and at preschools. All children in this age group are busily learning to talk. They make speech mistakes. We call these mistakes disfluencies. Some children may have more than others, and this is completely normal. There are certain children who have many disfluencies, repetition of words and prolongation of sounds. These are quite noticeable to listeners. If you are concerned that there may be a problem of stuttering developing with one of these children, don't pay any special attention to the child at this point in time, because at the preschool or in kindergarten, many children, all of them, they are stuttering at one or the other point, and they don't take anything seriously. They will not have this inferiority complex, or they will not think that they are different to others. So if you start treating them differently, they may feel that difference. But make sure that you talk to pathologist for suggestions, right? If need be, make sure that you are talking to parents. Talk to the parents about their opinion of the problem so that you know whether this is typical speech behavior of that particular child, or because in most instances, if parents, teachers, and other listeners listen to the child, answer the child in a patient, calm, and emotionally balanced way, the child's speech returns to normal as his language abilities and his or her adjustment to school or environment or with other people, other children in school. If the child continues to have disfluencies, you have to make sure that you are asking the help of pathologist to observe the child. A major concern at the elementary school. A major concern for most teachers is that child's reaction to his or her stuttering in the classroom. How should the child be expected to be participate in class? Answer depends on the individual child. At one extreme, there is a child who may be quite unconcerned and happy to participate like any other child. you know um, this child don't even care what other children are doing, if other children are laughing at her or him, but this child is in his or her own world and participating. At the other extreme, the child who will cry and refuse to talk, and most children are in between. If the child is being seen by a speech pathologist, you have to make sure that you take pathologist opinion and note down reasonable expectations. Also, it is advisable for you to talk with that child privately. Explain child that when talking, just like when we are learning other skills like writing, drawing, we sometimes make mistakes. We bubble sounds, or we repeat, or get tangled upon words. With the patience and with practice, we improve. Explain that you are his or her teacher, and that that stuttering is okay with you. By talking to the child in this way, you help child learn that you are aware of his or her stuttering, and you accept it, and you accepted him or her as he or she is. That gives lot of and confidence to child to speak up or to participate. And when you are asking a question to the class, you can make it slightly easier for this child when initially, until the child gets adjusted with the class environment, ask him or her questions that can be answered with relatively few words, because when child have to answer with many words or in lengthy paragraphs, stuttering increases due to stress. So this can be can be helpful for child to develop the confidence within by answering few words, and eventually the child gets confidence to speak lengthy lines. And then, if every child is going to be asked a question, call on the child who stutters fairly early, because as you delay it, it builds tension and worry inside the child, and it causes more stuttering, right? And then assure the whole class that they will have as much as time they need to answer. They need not to hurry up, and you are interested in having them take time and think through their answers, not just answer quickly. So in this way, you are not making that child feel that he or she is causing any trouble. Also, you are helping that particular child to get a equal opportunity as others to speak up. Many children who stutter are able to handle oral reading tasks, particularly if they are encouraged to practice at home. There will be few, however, who will stutter severely while reading aloud in class also. So what you can do is, most children who stutter are fluent when reading with others. So you can couple them up, and you can say that whole class read in pairs, so that this child who stutters doesn't feel different, and gradually he or she may become more confident and be able to manage reading out loud on his or her own. Correct? And then teasing and bullying. This is obviously painful for any child to bear with. Stuttering makes it worse. So if the child has, been obviously upset, and you could see that other children are laughing at her or him, make sure that you talk to this child one to one and help that child to understand why others tease, and brainstorm ideas for how to respond. If any you know who are bullying or teasing this particular child, make sure that you talk to that group of children and make them understand why bullying is bad. And if this continues, kindly take counselors' help and counsel the bullying children and also children who are getting bullied. Next, speech therapy. If you are unsure whether a speech pathologist is available in your school, talk with your administrator. Also, suggest to the parents that they seek one who specialized in stuttering and who has a certification of clinical competence from the concerned association or authority. Now, let me list down few general points here. Don't tell the child to slow down or relax when he or she is talking. That makes them feel that always it is when people are disabled, or if even it is completely applicable to the children who are in depression or children with other disabilities. More you try to show the sympathy or rather empathy, so that makes them feel weak. So don't do that. Let them speak slowly and patiently. Just listen to them, right? And don't complete words for the child or task for him or her. This also makes them feel that they are weak. Don't do that. Help all members of the class learn to take turns talking and listening. So when this child is speaking, let other children interrupt and add their points and all. So what happens when there is a complete discussion? This child feels acknowledged and it feels that others are listening to him or her. Expect the same quality and quantity of work from the child who stutters as the one who doesn't. That is where you are giving the child the confidence that he is not less than, he or she is not less than any other child in the class, right? And speak with the child or student in an unhurried way, pausing frequently. This is very essential when you're talking to the kindergarten, elementary children. You have to make sure that you are talking slowly and fluently so that they better process your words and take time and understand and answer. Convey that you are listening to the content of the message, not how it was said, right? And then have a one to one conversation with the child to understand what is the accommodations in the classroom the child that stutters required. So these are the important points that I wanted to talk about. I thank Stuttering Help organization for this content, and more importantly, don't make stuttering something to be ashamed of. Talk about stuttering just like any other matter. So talk about stuttering just like any other matter. Don't make a child think that they have some disability or they have some disease and all. Make sure that you are treating them equally. And more importantly, always keep in mind that each child is different and your caring, positive attitude will make a big, big, big difference in child's life. Thank you so much for everything that you are doing and have a great weekend. Thank you.